Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We are here today with Yakov Gorbolsky. He is with Atera. Good morning, good afternoon. I never asked you, is it morning or afternoon for you?
It is actually evening time.
Evening.
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. right now, but I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Scott, and everybody joining us currently. Very
Awesome.
excited to be here.
Well, it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. So now correct me if I'm wrong, Yakov. You're in Tel Aviv, Israel, right?
Exactly, yeah. This is where we are, where Atera started,
Okay,
and I'm in the offices at the moment, yeah.
great, great. So how's the weather in Tel Aviv today?
Quite chilly, actually, more than you would want it to be. How's South Carolina?
It is a nice perfect 72 degrees, sunny, so not bad at all today. I'll definitely take it. It's better than 20 or 30 degrees, so it's a good thing.
For
Well,
sure.
Yakov, I'm excited to learn more about Atera. We've been talking about doing this for a while, and who is a better person to give a demo than you? So we'll jump right into it.
Yeah, of course. Maybe a bit of info before we start, Scott, for
Sure.
the folks out there who are not familiar with us. Atera actually was founded more than 10 years ago. Our co-founders were actually working on a firewall solution. And as they were working with IT professionals, they actually found this need for having an RMM PSA remote solution tool all in one. And so they changed the product and the way it was into the Atera. Some of you might be familiar today. Um, so that's sort of the background for Atera. Since then, we're proud to be serving customers from over 100 and something, 106 countries,
Wow.
and monitoring. Yeah, and we're actually monitoring more than 3 million devices at every given moment, which is very exciting and cool for us. So that's a bit of a background.
Well, if you're monitoring 3 million endpoints and devices, you got to have a pretty big staff. How big is Atera?
That's a great question. We're actually expanding. I came here, we were less than 100 employees, and we're close to 200 now.
Okay,
We're opening new development teams, and there's a lot of exciting things happening that we want to do in the coming months.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Well, I've heard nothing but great things about Atera, so I'm excited to see what's going on with Atera today.
Yeah. So maybe I will share my screen and show
Sure.
some of the things uh, everybody can do nowadays.
All right.
Cool.
And Yakov,
So
correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah.
Atera is you guys don't just market this to IT professionals. Atera is anybody that's managing and maintaining a fleet of computers or computer endpoints.
Of course, yeah. We
Excellent.
actually we have customers who are MSPs, of course. You know, we have the one-man shows and companies with over 50 technicians using Atera together. But we also cater to internal IT departments. We have about 20% of our customers are actually IT departments, and we have IT consultants as well. So Atera is built for everybody.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Can you see my screen, Scott?
I can.
Perfect. So for those of you who don't know, this is the Atera dashboard, basically your main war room where you see everything going on in your networks. And as you can see, there's a lot of vitals here to help you get a picture of what is going on. You have your opening pending tickets, your warning and critical alerts, and you have different widgets for server status, alerts by the customers, the recent alerts, a map of where all of your customers are located, tickets per customers, unassigned tickets, and many more. Um, all of these widgets, of course, are customizable. I know people like to work differently. Some people are more visual, less visual. They can all be switched around, changed in sizes. It's all very simple and can be done from the dashboard edit button.
I'm a very visual person, so I love the dashboard.
I'm
I like
glad
all the
to hear.
colors.
Same. And I hope you will see as we go on today, we try to visualize and have those things follow you throughout the entire app. So we'll keep an eye for it during the demo. I want to show you how easy it would be to onboard and install and get your agents inside Atera. So there are actually many ways to do it. If I click new and I have the agent installer here, or installing an agent from here. Once you want to do it, you simply choose an operating system, Windows or Mac. And we're actually working on a Linux agent as well as we're speaking. But nowadays you can monitor Linux devices via SNMP if you have those. So simply click next. Then you can assign it to a customer. If you're an MSP, as I assume most people are today on the line with us, select a customer and you would have the different customers here. But if you're an internal IT department, these could be like the different sites or departments of your organization. Click next, and then you have either an MSI or another way I know many of our customers prefer is actually running a CMD or sharing an installation link with the end users.
So this would be the deployment of the agent on the endpoints.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, Scott. And if any of you out there have a group policy, a GPO, you can of course leverage that to get the agent out on the network instantly as well.
Excellent. We've got a quick question from Derek Froese. What capabilities will the Linux agent have, and what is the ETA?
Amazing question. So we strive to have the same capabilities that we'll be going over just now, things like patching, alerts, and everything that is possible in Atera. Currently, I do not have an ETA, unfortunately, but we hope to have it ready this year. Maybe, I assume many of our users are going to have amazing questions. Maybe we can save them for the last, let's say, 15 minutes and then go over everything together. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, deploying the agent is very easy. And I'm going right now to the devices page, where you would have a list of all the devices you have in Atera. You can scroll all the way down, look at everything. And already visual people like yourself, Scott, can see this info here, like the customer logo, the name of the device, the type, the customer it belongs to, last logged in user, availability, any pending alerts, pending patches, pending reboots, and all those things are available from here. Okay.
I've got a quick question for you. In the dashboard, when you first sign in, can you filter and just see all the machines that currently are requiring a reboot and filter and just see those machines?
Yeah, of course. So we have a filtering mechanism here on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And, many people would have hundreds, if not thousands of devices, and you can actually click this and leverage this mechanism to see exactly what you need to see. For example, just the online devices, if you want to look at them, and then maybe add another filter for a specific customer. And if you find yourself looking at the same things over time, you can of course save those views and toggle between them as you go throughout the app.
Very nice.
Yeah. Cool. So that would be the devices page. Pretty straightforward. I actually want to show you what an agent would look like. So let's click on this server over here and see what we have. So already you can see there's a lot of info here. We have the device name, which we gave it. We have the actual machine name, things like the last reboot time, different IP addresses, some metrics and vitals of the device itself. You have information about the operating system, the Office version if there is one, security information. I have Windows Defender. I should probably get something a little more serious. Information about the hardware, the different disks under this device. And many people find themselves struggling to find those bits and pieces of information about a device, but we give you everything in one single clean page. That's what we strive to do.
One single pane of glass. That's what MSP's like.
Exactly. One single pane of glass. And you have your recent alerts here also of the same device. And I actually want to talk about alerts a little and how those how those are generated inside Atera. So if you can see over here on the right hand side, I have what we call a threshold profile. And this is basically what is generating the alerts inside Atera. So let's go ahead and click that. And you can see I have a laundry list of things I'm monitoring on this device. Things such as the hard disk usage, CPU temperature, motherboard fans, and all the different items I find to be relevant. Okay. And of course, you can. There's many things you can monitor using these. So, for example, I know people like to monitor disk alerts from smarts and be able to get them in app. The exchange states, different events as they happen on the machine, such as software installation and things you want to be notified about, different processes to make sure they're constantly running, and even services. So for example, one of the great use cases is, your end users like to print, and whenever the printer doesn't work, they usually message you. So for that, you can monitor the spooler service and get notified when the spooler service is down, and then obviously people are going to be contacting you.
So can the Atera agent actually go in and restart can it automated restart the print spooler?
Great question. Yeah, exactly. So we try to automate as much as we can. And for example, in this case, I would recommend running a script as soon as the alert is triggered. So this item is monitoring the spooler service, and I can attach a script to restart the service. So we actually have this amazing shared script library where users can upload their own scripts, and Atera, of course, curates them and make sure they're not malicious. So I have a print spooler restart script. I can just clone it to my library and attach it to this item. Let's go ahead and do that quickly. Select it. And there it is. I have my script. Click add. And now every time the spooler service is down, I automatically restart it, which is a great way to be proactive and solve issues before they even arise.
Absolutely. Very good.
Yeah. So those would be the threshold profiles, and you will start getting alerts inside Atera and be notified about them, and then you can go to the alerts page and see what are the things that are going on in the system. What are the alerts? The GUI here looks pretty similar and intuitive. You have, again, the customer logo, the name of the alert that happens. If you want, you can expand it and get some more details about the alert itself. You can see the machine it's associated to, when it was created, the severity, the categories of different alerts, the status. From this page, you can also manage and perform some actions silently. So for example, if you want to go to the task manager based on this alert, you can press it and end different tasks silently without actually having to remote into the end device.
Nice.
Yeah. We try to not to bother the end users as much as we can. So all of these manage actions can be run silently without interrupting anyone.
And can you install applications that are allowed to be installed in silent mode without the end user aware?
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I want to demonstrate that. But that's a great question. But since we're already looking at the alerts, I wanted to show another great part of Atera, which is the beauty of having the RMM and the PSA combined. So for example, for this alert, I can, if I decide I want to work on it, I can create a ticket from here, create a new ticket, or assign it to an existing one. Excuse me. That way I don't lose on any billable time, and I make sure everything is documented and all my work gets billed for. And of course, you can also automate and make sure tickets are automatically created from alerts. That way you don't have to do all this manual work. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, we try to keep it simple, having everything in one place. And we actually recently ran a survey and we found out most of our customers had the system up and running in a matter of days, if not hours, getting the agents out there, configuring the alerts, the patching, which we'll talk about. It's all very simple and intuitive.
Very nice.
Yeah. So for example, if you have this alert, you want to work on the device, you can just click this. We go back to the machine we were looking at. Again, you have all the different actions that we were looking at previously. But of course, you can also go the quick and dirty way, and you can remote into the device itself. So for those of you who don't know, Atera comes with SplashTop free of charge on all tiers, on Pro, Growth, and Power. And basically, once you install the agent, SplashTop also gets installed. That way you can remote into the device from the get-go. From the moment you install the agent, and then you simply click it and remote into the device. I have to click open, and I'll just share my screen quickly. For some reason, I'm unable to share my screen, but I do have SplashTop open here, and I'm looking at the device. Sorry, a bit of a technical issue. But yeah, clicking is as simple, connecting is very simple. If customers decide to choose the Growth and Power package, they can also use AnyDesk free of charge.
Okay.
And if you have, I know some people out there like TeamViewer and Screen Connect, you can of course import those instances and licenses also into Atera and make those the default remote connection tools.
And Screen Connect and TeamViewer are available in all levels of Atera, correct?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
You just have to import the license you already have. It's done through this button here, and it's
Okay.
it's very simple.
Excellent.
Cool. So you asked me about software earlier, and installing software is very easy. If you want to do it ad hoc, there's something that needs to be installed at the moment, you can just click Manage and go to Software Installation.
Okay.
We're integrated with Homebrew and Chocolatey. Chocolatey for Windows and Homebrew for Macs. And if I click that, I can just search for a specific piece of software that I want, like I don't know, Microsoft Teams. Click it, make sure it's what I want, click install, and it gets installed on the end machine without interrupting the end user silently, as you said. And you can also create software bundles and install a whole pack of softwares. Like this one will do all these pieces of software once I click install.
Okay. So if a particular client has several applications that are standardized across all the endpoints, you could just set up a software bundle here and it would install all of them with one go.
Exactly,
Very
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, a great use case would be, there's a new computer, fresh one, and there's a list of software you want to have. You would create these bundles. And I did this on a single machine, but I can also go back to the devices screen, choose the devices that I want it installed on. And then if I go up, I can also do software installation on multiple devices, or,
Very nice.
the whole bundle as well.
So basically, you could take a vanilla machine that you just installed the OS on, and you could deploy the Atera agent and install all the software, the third-party applications through the software installation there, the software bundle, and you could set up scripts to set like the time and the time zone and all the DNS settings and all those things that end users typically don't deal with, but the IT professional has to go in and manually set.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
And I actually I want to show, because that's a great topic. I want to show how you can automate that, because now I had to select the devices, but I want it to be even faster. So I'll go back to my device now, and we spoke about alerts, um, but we also want to automate patching and software installation and software patching and all those things. And that is done through what we call IT automation profiles.
Okay.
So I'll show you what that looks like. And let's actually create a new profile. Go to admin, patch management, and IT automation. And I'll create a new profile for you, Scott.
All right.
There we go. And this is how these automation profiles look like. I like to think of them as based out of three components. You have, your scheduler, you have the different tasks that you can do, and of course, you need to apply it to specific machines or customers or folders underneath the customers. So, for example, you mentioned getting this vanilla machine that you want to install everything on.
Sure.
So you have the option to run these profiles on every newly installed agents. And then I would just take the same bundle that I was looking at before, click select here, get the bundle, select it. And now every time there's a new agent, this bundle will be installed. And as you
And
said,
it can go through
yeah,
and I see right here, OS patch management. It can update drivers, all of the stuff that you're manually having to check usually.
of course,
Very
yeah. You
nice.
can also automate that as well, attach your scripts and make sure this whole thing runs on a newly installed agent. Very simple. Some other use cases for these profiles is, it depends on the SLA you have with your customers, but um, I guess some people out there for servers, they do critical and security updates. So you can select just these two. Let's say it's Scott's server profile. And so you select this, and then you want the patches to run on some schedule. Microsoft pushes out their KBs on Tuesday. I would like to wait 2 days just to make sure it's not a bad patch or anything. So I want to run my schedule on Thursdays. I'd click add schedule, go to a weekly one. Of course, you can do a one-time fire off, daily, monthly, annually. Select my day, time 1 a.m. Perfect. No one's at the office. And
Give yourself a little breathing room.
yeah, exactly. And that's it. It's automated, and you don't have to go to every single machine. You can just enter your email address here and get a report once the automation is done, just to make sure everything ran perfectly.
Wow. So when you're setting up that vanilla machine, you could actually have it email you and let you know that it completed all the tasks and that machine is ready to
Exactly.
go. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
mhm. It's yeah, you don't have to even use the Atera app. You can just read your emails. Some other great things you can do here is we've added the ability to control the Windows local updates. Microsoft likes to sometimes send out updates without asking you, the IT professional, if you want them. You know, they pop on the end user's screen and they tell them, please restart to install. So you can disable those automatic updates
Very
and
nice.
make sure you, yeah, and you and Atera are the only patching providers for those computers.
Okay.
You can upgrade to the Windows 10 latest builds, perform some maintenance tasks, disk management, and maybe one of the greatest things we currently offer is to patch your software. So actually anything that was installed with Atera through Chocolatey and Homebrew will be patched if you click this. And we also have a list of software that will be patched regardless of the installation source. Things like, you know, Adobe, Chrome, all those things you have to manually do. So no more days for patching Adobe manually. You can just check this and we will patch it for you automatically.
Excellent.
Yeah. So really it's all about efficiency and automating as much as you can using Atera. Cool. So those are the patches. And we looked at the device earlier. So we were looking at this device. We spoke about the different alerts and how those are generated. We can see the recent alerts here. Of course, I haven't mentioned it, but if I go to the alerts page, you know, if there's something I want to work on later or something that is irrelevant, you can, of course, delete them, snooze them, resolve them, you know, to each his own.
Okay. So you can snooze the alerts.
You can snooze them, of course, yeah.
Okay.
You can click this, snooze, and choose a time period you want the alert to be snoozed for.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. And so let's say we have an alert, like this one is for CPU loads, and we want to work on it and we want to document everything. So we can just go to the ticket here. And this would be the ticket page for Atera. Okay, I already have the timer running here. I can stop it or, you know, choose it to never open automatically, whatever way you choose to work. But you can see I have the ticket title here. I have the communication. In this case, it's the description of the alerts.
Okay.
But from the screen, I can easily communicate with the end user and write to them whatever I want to. You know, have you tried turning it on, off and on? Whatever, whatever
That
you
should
want
just
to
be
communicate.
automatically the first ticket response. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, you can actually automate that auto response to, you know, every single ticket with Atera. I'm sure it's going to solve like 80% of the incoming traffic. Of course, you can have quick reply templates as well. Yeah. If there's a known issue, you know, there's a printing issue, you can have these macros and populate them automatically. Yeah, internal notes, if you need internal communication, if you have a larger team, or you want to document work you did without contacting the end user,
Okay.
just change it to the yellow one, and then it's internal. You have the requester info. If for larger teams out there, or, you know, if you want to plan an offsite, you need to go to the client side to work on this ticket. We are now integrated with Office and Google Calendars. So if you have a dispatcher, or you know, you just want to put it on your calendar for later, you can do that from Atera, and then you'll get an indication here. that the ticket is already scheduled. From here, of course, you can remote connect. Again, RMM and PSA working beautifully together, allowing you to automate and make your workflow easier. And yeah, that would be the ticket screen. And I actually want to show you how managing your tickets in Atera would be like, if that's okay.
Sure.
Cool. So I press tickets here, and as you can see, I have my queue. Again, the GUI is pretty similar. I have the customer logos here, the customer names, the relevant contact people, name of the ticket. Atera comes with a full comprehensive SLA system. So you can see how you're doing based on SLA. Of course, it's not mandatory for those of you who are still not using SLAs. You can see the assigned technicians or reassign it between different technicians for larger teams out there. You have a priority, your activity status, the different statuses in Atera of the ticket. And again, I can scroll down and just get to the bottom of the list, or you can create different views if you have like a tier 1, tier 2 situation going on in your business, or if you have a sales queue and a help desk queue, you can create those in Atera and then toggle between them, or just use, the filtering mechanism to see it exactly what you need in any given moment. For example, looking at open tickets that are still unread, something like that.
One thing as you're flipping through this, I'm noticing everything is very responsive. The whole platform is just super responsive. There's no wait time, no lag.
Yeah, and thank you. We're actually trying to ease that, not having to have you click too many things. As I'm changing these filters, everything's updating live, and then you can continue working and see, only the relevant information. It's what we strive to do.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I mentioned the SLA. Of course, Atera comes with contracts as well. So for the MSPs out there, you can connect these SLA to different contracts. If I go to admin, contract, I'll just quickly show you can create, your basic retainer flat fees. You can do if you work hourly or based on blocks of hours, based on what you're monitoring, the amounts of devices, or if you're working by projects. All of that is supported with Atera. And when it comes time and you want to bill eventually, you can do all of your billing through Atera. Create your invoice batches based on the contracts once the contracts open up, and eventually generating the invoices from Atera, sending them to the end users. We're actually integrated with QuickBooks. And
that was going to be my question. Yep. What are your integrations?
I'm sorry for
No, you're good. You great minds think alike. No, you're good.
Yeah. So yeah, I know many guys out there, especially in the US, are actually using QuickBooks. So we're integrated with QuickBooks for accounting, so you can send those invoices straight to QuickBooks. And we're actually also, which is very exciting, we're adding the option to charge directly from Atera, and basically, completing the full circle, allowing you to have that single pane of glass to get the alerts, work on the tickets, create the invoice batches, and then even charge your customers straight from Atera. Excellent. So that's something excited to be looking for. Yeah, so that would be the billing module. Maybe another great thing would be the reports that we show. Of course, for example, if you're working with the billing and everything, you want to run a timesheet and see how you're doing, you can do that within Atera. The reports are pretty straightforward. You need to select a time period, choose your filters. This report is a little more complex, I will say, but I already started speaking about it, so I'll just quickly show it. There's some settings you can configure here, but essentially you'll get a breakdown of all the tickets in the time period, and you can see exactly which one were resolved, which ones are billable, if you already invoiced for them, and you can see, make sure you're not losing on any billable time.
Sure.
And yeah, this entire reporting mechanism is connected to both the RMM, the PSA sides of Atera, and I think it's a great way, to demonstrate value to your end users. For example,
Absolutely.
if
Something they can see, feel, and touch. Because if the MSP
yeah,
or the IT provider is always fixing their problems, then they don't even think that they're necessary or needed. So if you can send a report out that shows what all the system has even done automatically, it proves value, like you said. Very good. I've always heard
exactly.
good things about Atera reporting.
I'm glad to hear, and exactly. I know many MSPs out there and IT professionals. The end users don't really see all of that behind the scenes, and they don't have to know you automate it with Atera. But for example, if you're doing patching and it's part of your SLA, you can run the patch status summary report. If you're doing critical updates to a specific customer, I can just generate it and have this report showing all my systems are up to date. But you can also schedule it to be sent out to the end users once a month, showing them, look, I am taking care of your systems, and I am working and making sure everything is fast and secure for you. And of course, you can also send these reports to yourself or to a manager or technician through the scheduling mechanism.
Very nice.
Yes. So that was the patch status summary. For example, another great thing is the satisfaction report. We spoke about ticketing a little. You can automate a survey to be sent out, and you can use this survey. It's like a satisfaction survey, and basically it gives you metrics to see how you're doing, but you can also send it to your prospects and show them, your reports and how good you're doing, how satisfied your customers are, and basically get new business as well. And there's a lot you can do. There's, for example, the software inventory, also a very popular one. If you want to see all the software installed on computers, if you want, you can also silently uninstall things from the end machines, but again, without interrupting the end user. You can, of course, do that as well from the reports.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, I think that would be it for the report section. Do we already have some questions from the crowd? I'll be happy to start answering them, and maybe we can take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get to the questions, well, I heard about the Atera add-ons. What kind of add-ons does Atera have? Do you have add-ons with like where you can allow the remote connection to your end user so they can use it and purchase it?
Great question. Yeah, so I think what you mentioned is one of the add-ons I actually really like. It's called Work from Home.
Okay.
It was actually introduced during COVID. And we found, and I'm sure many of you out there found, that end users need to be able to use their work computers from home. And this is exactly what it does. So for the price of $5 per month, no commitments or no contracts or anything, you can basically let the end users access their work computers from anywhere in the world. It's a solution by Splashtop, our partners. It's very secure. It has 2FA via SMS, and it's very fast and reliable. You can turn it on and off at any given moment. It's very flexible. Yeah, it's a great solution for these days, unfortunately.
Well, I do have two other questions, and then we'll get to the questions from the crowd.
Yeah.
How is Atera deploying patches to endpoints that the agents installed on?
Great question. This one is a little technical, but I'll be happy to explain. So let's actually go to the devices, and I'll see if I have this device that has a pending patch, so I can actually click it. And let's see, it's the security intelligence update. The way this works is Atera is integrated to Microsoft's WUA API, which is their repository. It has all the patches, and what we do is we match this repository with all the machines you have in Atera, and if anything is applicable to any of the devices, we will show it here, and then you can, the agent picks up on it, and then you can install. Anything that is irrelevant, of course, will not be shown here. Okay. And if you want to see what already is installed, you can just click here and see, all the different KBs already on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Atera give you the ability to go in and uninstall an update from this section without having to go in to log in locally to the workstation and do it?
Great question. There is no way on this menu. We have a great script in the shared library that I actually looked at a couple of days ago, which allows you to remove those KBs if you want.
Okay.
If there's anything you don't want.
And the last question I have for you really is about what about IT providers that deal with co-managed IT solutions? So like an MSP dealing with an in-house IT department for their client. How does Atera integrate and work with in that scenario?
Yeah. It's a very good use case, and actually we constantly develop this as we get larger and larger customers. We have teams with actually over 50 technicians, as I said before, and we support that in many ways, I think. So one thing I mentioned is on the ticketing side. For example, sorry, I'm talking about something else. You asked about co-management. So for that, we have the roles and permissions.
Okay.
So if I click roles, basically we have customers who, as you said, they have this. They have a customer and they have an internal IT who likes to look at different devices, go over the tickets, run some reports. And those people usually buy a license for that person. And then you can create a limited user, give them limited access. So if I click that, you will see you can granulate their permissions in the app as to what these people can do. And you can also assign them to a specific customer. That way, they're only able to look at their devices, look at their tickets, and not interrupt with other sensitive data that is on the platform.
Okay, so it really clearly defines their role.
Exactly. Yeah. That way you can have all these internal ITs using Atera with you, and give them some sort of liberty to also manage their devices.
Well, we do have a couple other questions. Can the profile install patches? This was going back to the beginning when we were talking about profiles and how to install patches, but only if they are 2 weeks old. So I guess exclude patches that are younger than 2 weeks.
Interesting. I don't believe there's a way out of the box to do it currently to automate those 2 weeks.
Okay.
What I would suggest is maybe running the patching on different iterations instead of once a week, doing it maybe once in 2 weeks. That way you have more time to hear if there was a bad patch out there. But usually I hear users, the community knows pretty quickly if there's a bad KB out there.
Okay. And going back to the Windows Update section, does the
Yeah.
disabling, you showed in the GUI there, you could disable local updates Windows updates at the local level. Does the disabling of local updates prevent upgrades to Windows 11? Would that stop it?
Yeah. We currently, these ones, all of these OS patch management do not push Windows 11, so there's no need to be scared of that.
Okay.
I believe this should suffice, but we also have a script in the shared script library, which you can also automate and run once a week. That way, for sure, Windows 11 will not be installed on the devices.
Oh, so to be clear, that will probably suffice, but the best method that you are saying is probably to do a script with it as well. Okay.
I would add the script as well.
And getting back to tickets, when a reply is emailed in to a ticket and it has HTML or embedded images, do they show up within the ticket reply, or how are they handled?
Great question. To my knowledge, yes, we support HTML and formatting and images.
Okay.
If I go to the tickets, as you can see, you can attach images, links as well, and you should also be able to receive them inside Atera. And if I expand, I don't think I have a conversation here, but if I were, you would be able to see those here. Of course, it's a necessity for the system. And I actually want to add, because I showed you the ticket screen, but I haven't mentioned all the ways to communicate with your end users. So of course, emailing is one way. If you type from here, it sends an email to the end user. But we also have a customer portal, like a service portal, which you can create for the end user, and then they can go into the portal. I can actually show what it looks like. Because we do have some time. And once they're in the portal, they can look at their own tickets and create tickets from here, and manage that communication. I know some people like that, and of course this is brandable. You can use your own colors and everything. You can also enable help desk agents, a tray icon for the users, and they can open their tickets from there. We have a built-in chat function with end users, so you can actually pop a chat on their computers. So there are multiple ways to actually communicate with the users, other than just the basic emailing.
Okay. If you're trying to get in touch with a user and they're not responding to traditional communication methods such as email, text, phone call, are you able to reach out to them over Atera? Maybe send a message, have a message pop up on their screen or something?
Like broadcasting. I know. Yeah. I think there's a script for that as well to pop a message there. But sometimes it has to be the traditional ways. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got one more question. Is the PowerShell tool real time, and can scripts read write to device or customer variables within Atera? Is there integration with SentinelOne, MSP 360 for billing? These are kind of a couple questions. So why don't we start can scripts read write to device or customer variables within Atera?
Yeah. Okay, good question. And they also asked about PowerShell, right?
Yeah. Is the PowerShell tool real time?
Yeah, so it is real time. If I click PowerShell right now, it's initializing, and then I can just run the PowerShell commands from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very straightforward, very simple. For the scripts, you can, of course, attach variables. So if I go to admin scripts, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm creating a new one, but it could be existing ones. You can, of course, also upload your own scripts to the library.
Okay.
But you can, of course, define, once you have your description and the name of the file, you can define the different variables for the script, and also, choose to run it as the system or the current user.
Okay. Excellent. Is there an integration with SentinelOne, MSP360 for SentinelOne or MSP360 for billing?
I'm afraid not at the moment.
Okay.
For billing, we have QuickBooks, as I mentioned, and Xero, but we are looking to add more and more integrations this year. We have some exciting ones coming actually quite soon, and hopefully we can add those along the time as well.
Well, keeping in line with billing, is there a white labeling option for a customer portal? Can the IT provider use their own subdomain?
Great question. So for the customer portal, it is customizable in the looks and the feel of it. For the subdomains, if I go to admin, customer portal, you can choose, you can use, of course, your own domain if you want. Currently for HTTPS, it would have to be Atera's subdomain and your name in the beginning.
Okay. Can invoices automatically count assets and adjust?
Yes. For that, you can create a contract that is based on the number of devices. You can do it for servers, for agent devices, for SNMPs, or for everything. And then the contract automatically updates based on the number of devices the customer has.
Okay. And we've got another question here, I guess, relating to billing. Can I have variables for customers? Example, SentinelOne site token that a script can read when it's running. Can scripts write to these variables?
I
know, I'm scratching my head like that's a tough one.
I honestly, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. We do have, and I would recommend anyone on the line with us right now, if you, I don't know the answer to this question, but we have an amazing technical support team. You can reach out to them 24/7. So if you're in Atera, you can click this little question mark down here and start a live chat with one of our agents, or you can simply email support@atera.com, and we're available 24/7, and I'm sure they're going to be able to answer that for you just right now, so you can contact them at the moment.
That sounds great. Well, the last question I have, Yakov, thank you so much for your time. You've given a great demonstration. It's very in-depth. I love the platform. What can I say? It's beautiful. It's very logically laid out. What if someone is watching now and they really want to get started with Atera, what is the best way for them to do that and get started? Where do you want me to drive traffic for you to?
Good one. I think the best would be to go to atera.com.
Okay.
Which is our main website. Over here, you have the Get Started button, and right now, you can open a trial, 30 days, no commitments, no credit cards or anything, and, test out the system, try to do whatever you need, contact our teams. We have a full academy for onboarding, and, we have a knowledge base. So any question you have, anything you need, we will try and help you. And that would be the best way. Just put in your email and you're in there, and you can try everything for yourself.
And if they have an opportunity, let everybody know from Atera that they got the information from IT Business Owners Group.
Exactly. We would be happy to hear how you came over. Scott mentioned this great webinar we just had, and we're looking forward to see you with us.
That sounds great. Well, Yakov, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and we'll have to do it again sometime soon. Thanks.
Of course. Thank you,
All right.
Scott, and thank you, everybody.
See
All
ya.
right.
Bye bye.
Take care.